Yeah, we are on. I posted on the Geaux Rouge Facebook page. Now I'm posting it on my feed. Like I do want people downtown. I do want downtown not to be like a shooting gallery, which I will say. However, can we do better than the red stick dropping?
What do you want?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. What do you...
Are we audioing?
You should be.
Like, is there a particular...
Hey, YouTube. This is your host, Franz Borkart. We're finishing up. We're finishing up for 2022 here. I'm sitting here with Dylan Ferguson. You know Dylan.
Hello.
He does that reoccurring segment, how to be a better diner, how to be a better customer. Brian Haldane may make an entire radio show behind that theme or that idea of being a better customer.
That's very exciting.
Is the customer always right?
No.
No.
Well, no. Yeah.
No.
Wait, was I supposed to answer that way? No, definitely not.
Sometimes I have clients, if you're listening, audio's on, right? Sometimes I have clients that I really just want to look at and say, you know, you don't own me.
Yeah.
Like, this is a service I'm providing you, but
I
you
feel
don't
like
own me.
there is, I've seen more of a movement of a lot more people saying, like, walk away from bad customers.
It's ballsy. It's ballsy.
It's ballsy, but
it's counterintuitive.
Gutsy.
It's gutsy. It's counterintuitive to the entire framework of the customer's always right.
But where did that come from? Like, who decided that? Who
feels like a Dale Carnegie kind of
Dale Carnegie, or I mean, like Disney World, right? It's that Disney World mentality.
Yeah, they're not doing good right now. Disney's having issues. Disney's having issues.
Oh no, I guess they are not doing good.
So part of Disney's issues is the lack of popularity of some of their newest movies and productions, because they have embraced a 2022 model of being, I don't want to say woke.
I know. I can see you dancing around. Yeah,
they are being. They're being aware and accepting of all cultures and all facets of life, which I have no. Called Strange Worlds or Strange World, which is their newest animated show.
No, I'm not familiar.
It's on Disney Plus. So my 7-year-old and I are watching it, and there is a LGBTQ teenage love thing going on that is not essential to the plot. That they kind of go, surprise, and I'm like, and then I'm in the position of, I am one of the most accepting human beings. I'm a civil rights attorney.
Sure.
I'm like, if I pause it and try to explain it, am I making a thing out of something that's not a thing?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, like, if this was I know we don't want to, like, get into this. This is like the YouTube show, right? So we can talk about this stuff before we get on the radio. But if it was a heteronormative relationship to cisgendered individuals, no one would even notice. And so that's kind of the thing. And I think that's the reason why it's important to include those things so that it's not a thing.
I was like, how does this fall into the rating categories of G, PG, PG-13, and essentially parental guidance? So it's rated, it becomes rated, and I'm not saying this is right, I'm just saying this is the reality, is
Sure.
It becomes the parental guidance issue of it may contain content that you have to address and discuss with your kids, which I'm fine with. Other than I'm just sitting on the couch, like my brain is halfway on because it's a Disney movie, and it's like, surprise!
Wait a second. There might be some more conversation that has to come.
All good.
Yeah.
Brian, what are you going to do for New Year's? Like, are you going somewhere? Or are you... Oh, that's a sigh. That's a sigh.
Because it's still kind of up in the air. We're probably going to be somewhere between two different places, and then playing chauffeur because the oldest is old enough to go out, but not old enough to drive herself.
Oh, fun.
So I got invited to one of our mutual friends is having a massive party.
Cool.
That's one of the ones.
Yeah, and as you know, I don't drink, and the young lady that I'm now engaged to doesn't drink either.
Congratulations.
And so thank you. And then I have my 7-year-old son, and so I called the host, or one of the hosts. There's multiple hosts, and said, hey, look, we're gonna come. But like, if we leave a little early and like ninja, it has nothing to do with anything. It's just, it's kind of a weird. He's like, dude, I don't, whatever you want.
Whatever.
I'm like, oh. And I think there's going to be food there. I think there's going to be good food there. I mean, I've never been. Yeah. Hopefully they have Barracuda taco.
Oh, wait.
We're going to behave.
Or any other.
Brian, we're going to behave.
Just any tacos at all.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved it, didn't you? I'll say it again. You loved it, didn't you? You've been following the Liver King saga?
No, what is that?
The guy that eats nothing but livers and is jacked up, and he's like a TikTok. So
no.
Stand by, killing mics for 10 seconds.
Good evening, Baton Rouge, and anyone else who's listening. This is your host, Franz Borkart. You're listening to the Geaux Rouge radio show. For those listening on the radio in your cars, for those watching on YouTube on the Geaux Rouge channel, welcome to episode 122. We've been gone for a while. In studio right now, I've got Brian Haldane on Master Controls, guest co-host Dylan Ferguson. You know Dylan Ferguson from such episodes or segments we call How to Be a Better Diner. He's going to be guest co-hosting today. I was trying to get Helen Fink on as well. We were going to talk about this is our New Year's Eve episode. This is airing on the radio right now. It's live streaming, and this is our last episode of 2022. And we're going to be talking about things to do in Baton Rouge for 2022. And then in our second segment, we're going to talk about king cake.
King cakes.
When is it officially now Brian's a good Catholic. When is it officially okay to eat a king cake? Right now? Like after Epiphany? When is the official like
January 6th, technically.
Whoa.
But
such self-control.
Yeah, there are a few places that make a Christmas-themed king cake.
Well, that's
so it's not necessarily a king cake. It's all the same ingredients, but made to celebrate Christmas.
I feel comfortable saying the following, having worked in a bakery in high school that is one of the dominant king cake forces in Baton Rouge, Ambrosia Bakery.
Okay, I was going to say, are you going to tell us what it was?
Yeah, I wanted to build it up a little bit. So I feel comfortable saying the following. Whatever a king cake is, we're off the rails with it now. Like, we make all sorts of things now that we're calling king cake. We're going to talk about this in segment number 2.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of differing viewpoints on king cakes already.
Don't be mistaken. Eat them.
Sure.
I'm saying the idea, whatever a king cake is so expansive now that we leave room for Christmas king cakes. We leave room for a chocolate cake that's really chocolate coconut nuts and a Zulu.
I think it's going to be the second half of the show is going to be a spicy king cake.
Okay.
Of a second half because I'm expecting some.
I've had a gumbo king cake, sweet and gumbo. I've had a boudin king cake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This idea of king cake, your mama and daddy's king cake, which was cinnamon, maybe some cream cheese.
Right.
That's off the rails now. So we're going to talk about all this stuff. This is our last episode. We've taken a break from the Geaux Rouge show for a little while. That's not to say we're not doing the Geaux Rouge show anymore. I needed a break, man. I just needed a break. So we took a break, and then we have different basketball, football, not football, but different sporting events going on. I sometimes get bumped because, I'm not as important as LSU basketball.
That's interesting.
I'm not
this year.
In general, softball sometimes.
Softball will bump us regularly.
Yes. Does LSU soccer bump me?
No, we don't put soccer on the radio.
I've had the coach of the women's LSU soccer. I'm gonna be nice. I've had the women's coach of the LSU soccer. I've had both the women's basketball coach and the women's soccer coach on the show.
Incredible. Same time?
Different episodes. But yes.
Then you need to get Beth Torina in next. You need to go softball next.
Or gymnastics.
That would be a great.
Or gymnastics.
I think I can get them.
Okay.
But before we do all this, before we jump into things to do in Baton Rouge on Christmas Eve, we got to thank our show sponsors. First and foremost, La Divina Italian Cafe was there this week with my little boy. We did some chocolate heart-shaped pancakes.
Are they making king cakes this year?
I think they will be. I think Chef Eric will be. Open every day with your custom made from scratch breakfast. For me, the custom made from scratch breakfast was heart-shaped pancakes with chocolate chips in it. If I would have gone next level, I would have said I want some bacon and chocolate chips in a heart-shaped pancake together, because it's ironic, right? Heart-shaped pancakes, your heart,
bacon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. So La Divina, love them. Great place to eat some good food. We have Dr. G, Dr. Gunja Reyna with MD VIP at Heal 360, www.drreyna.com. I've got to go back and I really...
Because heart-shaped pancakes.
Yeah, heart-shaped pancakes. Dude, I still am net down. I've still lost a ton of weight. I'm still net down.
That's true.
But the holidays have kicked me in the butt. And then right around the corner, January 13th is my birthday, and then we have king cake season.
Right. But you also have a New Year's resolution, right? I was hoping we were going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Right.
There's some buddies of mine that are talking about doing this 90-day, like it's almost like a Marine style fast of all good things in your life.
No,
like no soda, no sweeties. We'll talk about it.
Not too hard.
But
I was actually talking about this on the show this morning with David St. Romain.
I was going to let you jump in on that. So look, Dr. Reyna. The good thing about her is when I go see her, she checks on me on a monthly basis. When I go see her, she'll remind me how much I need to get my butt in gear, and then she works with me to do that. And then last but not least, perhaps our best show sponsor, law firm, the finest criminal defense firm in the universe, in the multiverse. Check us out, www.borkartlawfirm.com. That's my lemonade stand. That's how I make a living. It's my day job. When I'm not doing this on the radio, not doing legal commentary for the news channels, WAFB, WBRZ, when I'm not doing national TV, court TV, when I'm not teaching at the flagship law school as an adjunct professor, I had 2 people call me Professor Borkart this week from the law center, LSU Law Center.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure you...
My ego.
Yeah. You're already such a humble guy.
Yes.
So unwilling to talk about your accomplishments.
Criminal defense firm. So, okay. Let's jump into this feet first, into the cold, frigid water of there is New Year's Eve happening tomorrow.
That's right.
There are tons of things to do in Baton Rouge. I tasked you, Dylan.
Ooh.
So I
didn't know it was only me. I thought you were going to bring your own.
I have some ideas.
I have some. We can talk about all the stuff that I have
going on downtown. So Dylan, for those who don't know, Dylan, if you're just now tuning in, Dylan works for a company named Toast. It's an app. But Dylan also is one of my close friends, and Dylan also gets into food adventures with me. Dylan has been in the restaurant service industry. You know far more about music, entertainment, life. You're culturally better.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I couldn't think of a better person to be on the show for the last episode of the year. But two, I wanted your take on some of this, because there are things that you and I disagree on.
Oh,
right?
Frequently. Yeah.
All right. So let's jump in. The biggest thing for New Year's Eve in Baton Rouge arguably is downtown, right?
I reckon. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely. I don't know if is it the biggest thing. I've never done it.
I think it's the most known, like the what is it called? The Red Stick Reveille?
Red Stick Revelry. It's in its 10th year this year. Got started because they revamped the North Boulevard Town Square. So now you've got the big media beacon down there.
Okay.
And you have a centralized place. You've got the stage. So you've got a big centralized place to actually bring people to come together to actually have a party.
And they do fireworks?
They do fireworks, live music. They drop a red stick.
Right, and this is what we're going to talk about, because I'm going to defend this even though I haven't been. I know that you already have.
My only complaint about this event, and there's some people that say, well, is it safe? I think it's pretty safe. I mean, I don't think they've had incidents in the 10 years.
There has been one incident on the levee, and it was more than a decade ago.
Right.
But it was for July 4th, and it happened like an hour and a half after the party was over.
If you go to one of the downtown bars and get smashed and then have an incident, that's not...
You have a greater risk of incident in that context.
In the city. It's on you, dude.
Right.
Or dudette. Call the Borkart Law Firm. So, that being said, the only issue I have with this entire thing is I feel like the red stick being dropped is kind of quiche.
Okay,
I said it.
I know. Okay, so I want to talk about this because my question is, what shape would be better? Like, it's literally, the place, Baton Rouge is actually French for red stick.
So my problem is we are trying to copy something that happens in Manhattan. It's a giant ball that drops.
So we should just not try it.
I would like to know how many other cities do this drop concept. And if I just feel like we don't need to drop anything. Why can't we just have a nice party? We have a beautiful state capital. We have a beautiful river.
Right.
Drop a red stick. And a red stick feels like, have you seen the red stick? I haven't seen it. You used to have a red stick mascot, Brian.
The stick that drops looks nothing like the mascot. And I would be totally in your corner if the stick that dropped looked like the mascot. It looks like it's got the stick with the circle around it, so it's more of a ball. It's more of a circular image. You're not just dropping a stick.
So the worst issue I have with this entire party
there's a stick.
is that there's a stick.
A red stick.
Yeah, that's really not. Now, the other side of this event is it's my understanding that different businesses, and I got this email from the downtown development district, different businesses around the Red Stick Reveille are actually having parties. The Hilton has a New Year's Eve party.
Right.
I can tell you that the City Club has a New Year's Eve ball. Now these are going to be private. These are going to be private events that you're going to have to pay to play, right? So, like for example, maybe the best place to watch the fireworks besides West Baton Rouge would be Tsunami. Tsunami has a sushi, champagne, and fireworks display from the roof. I think there's a ticket price for that. The main lobby. At the
main lobby is really cool. Have you been there yet?
I have not. Where is the main lobby?
The main lobby is on Main Street. It's where the old
Driftwood.
It was a super divey bar. No,
super divey bar downtown.
Oh, but what's it? Oh,
it had word red in it though, didn't it?
It was. It could have. Oh man, I can't believe this is killing me. I want to say Hound Dogs.
Okay, so
Hound Dogs,
but a good
right?
place now, right?
Yes.
Brickyard,
very nice.
Brickyard South is going to have DJ Cletus and B&T. I don't know who either of those guys are, but or those groups are, but that's what they're advertising. And I got to tell you, let me say this about Brickyard South.
Okay.
Danny makes food that is darn good.
Right.
So a party at Brickyard South for like New Year's Eve might be an incredibly great place to be. Squeaky Pete's is having champagne bottles. I got an email today from Oliver Twist, not downtown, but Oliver Twist is doing $15 bottomless mimosas from like something in the afternoon until 2 a.m.
Amazing.
Andre Champagne.
Look, let me introduce a new one that I haven't.
Okay.
Do you have more you want to talk about? Do you have more spots?
So the only other one I wanted to promote, I know Soji, my folks at Soji are doing something. Yeah, what's up?
Crown Plaza's got one.
I figured Crown Plaza would.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, 99% sure Low Bears does too.
Got to. That's what I think of whenever I think about if I wanted to go pay to be somewhere on New Year's.
So I got to assume that the Gregory at the W is probably going to have some.
It has to.
Yeah,
God, the Gregory.
If you're going to do a staycation, I do like the idea of doing a staycation like at the Hilton, or I would imagine the rooms are going to be a little pricey. So what you got?
Okay, have you heard of the R&B Cocktail Lounge?
What's the R&B Cocktail Lounge? Is that on Florida?
No, it's on College Drive. It's right near, what do you say, like by the train tracks, right there by Dawson's Creek. They have that little shopping center. It's got the FedEx. Brian, anything from you?
No, I know right where you're talking about. I haven't been there, though.
New bar just opened up over there.
I'm turning onto College from Perkins. Is it on the right or the left?
It's on the right. It's on the right. I think you
right
cross
near
the train tracks,
near
cross the creek.
Kitchen?
Yes, before Thai Kitchen.
Oh.
Right around the corner from one of your favorite spots, yeah.
Yeah, is that
the R&B Cocktail Lounge?
So what's going on there?
Freshly opened. So over there we have, let me pull it up here, $10 cover with complimentary champagne toast at midnight, $5 fireball shots, and sections available. 25 and up, and the dress code is grown and sexy.
Oh, grown and sexy.
That's the dress code.
For the R&B lounge, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, for the R&B, yeah.
I kind of wish the
very much a Keith Sweat vibe going on.
I kind of wish the Red Stick Reveille was grown and sexy.
No, they have no dress code.
Red Stick Reveille, by the way, family friendly. This seems grown.
This is the adult scene. This is leave the kids at home, go out. But it's a really cool bar, and it just opened up, and you should definitely go.
Okay.
I know neither one of us drink, right? But it's still cool, and they have food as well. They do red beans on Monday.
I just want to meet. I want to see Baton Rouge in all of Baton Rouge's greatness and goodness. And
the owner, Bianca, this is her first bar. She's been a bartender for a long time. She's got a whole career apart from this.
She a bartender before this?
She was at Don Juan.
Oh, I probably know.
You probably know her. Bianca. Yeah, Bianca. We went to high school together.
Okay. Cool deal. Cool deal. What else you got?
Okay, beyond that, all right, this one's just kind of fun and funny. I don't know how many of the listeners are going to attend this event, but I saw it on the list and I was excited. New Year, New Tears Emo Night at Chelsea's Live.
I'm going to say that New Year's, New Tears Emo Night. you got to be pot committed. You got to be all in for that.
Yeah.
You got to be emo.
Look, we got add a bit of tortured soul flair to your New Year's Eve with Emo Night at Chelsea's Live. DJ Burris, Tough Garrett. He has more of a name there, but I left part of it out. And Dan Lyon will spin all the early 2000s tunes that take you back. Did you have an emo phase, Franz? Or
I didn't. I never was emo, but my son could be emo or goth at any given time.
Yeah.
So question for you is, Chelsea's is one of the hottest venues downtown right now, right?
So good, yeah.
Music, whatever. How does that happen that they have an emo-themed New Year's Eve?
This is their first one. They've had...
So this is a recurring thing.
The Emo Night is a recurring thing. They pack it out every time because there's a huge... I guess my generation, right? Like we all went through this emo post-hard.
What's your generation again?
Millennial? I'm a millennial.
I'm 43 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a millennial, right?
Yeah,
and then so like I'm like advanced now. Like we used to be like the ones you could blame things on, but now we're like we're grown.
I was telling a fellow attorney today, I've gotten to the generation of stay off my yard, get off my grass.
Oh yeah.
Your dog pooped in my grass. All right, so
this is a recurring thing they do. They pack it out.
Chelsea's. What's the cover for that?
Cover.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
No, it's okay. It's not
the cover for that.
Sure, probably like $10. If I had to guess, I would say like $5 to $10.
With like Tsunami, which I think the ticket is like $60. Now I'm involved in all that. You're giving us some good like $10 cover.
Yes.
Now, spending with that, I would imagine you're spending money on your champagne, your booze, and all that. You're not getting a package, so to speak.
Speaking of, one of my favorite places to celebrate is Radio Bar for New Year's Eve. That's a really fun. I don't know if they're doing like a whole party this year, but it's usually packed. People from the neighborhood.
So I would be curious also what in that, and I didn't research this in the mid city corridor. Like what's going to be open? Like is it Radio Bar going to be open?
Yeah, Radio Bar will be open.
I haven't talked to Jay, so I don't know if Government Taco is going to be open, closed, or whatever.
I think they're staying normal hours.
So I would
Be Arcade will probably be
Arcade. I would assume Superior Grill will have some. Yeah. I mean, they don't miss an opportunity to sell a margarita.
I don't want to commit anyone to something they're not doing, but at the Chimes we used to do a free champagne toast for anyone there. It's historically kind of a slow night for us. So like anyone in the bar at the Chimes would get. Yeah, people would come in before like 8 to 10.
Is New Year's Eve a hot date night?
Mansur's, it was one of our busiest nights.
Oh, I would definitely take a hot date to.
Whenever I worked at Mansur's, that was a full cover, like full book kind of night. It was a good time.
So, okay, we're if you're just now tuning in, we're covering things you can do for New Year's Eve. We've talked about downtown. We've talked about different restaurants, different bars. Honestly, from an economic standpoint, I want people spending money on New Year's.
Yeah, of course.
The criminal defense attorney in me is optimistic that we won't have any incidents.
Maybe also spending money on Ubers.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know it's
no. I'm okay if people are smart and responsible.
Good.
The good human being citizen in me is appreciative, and if they're irresponsible, the attorney in me is available to help them.
Available. I like that. I appreciate that you pivoted from appreciative to available. Yeah. I know.
Now, I want Brian to be Brian.
Yeah.
It's like whatever that means, I want Brian to be Brian.
And you're going to defend his right to be Brian, whatever that would
recommend free, non-legal advice from me to the listeners. I would highly recommend Uber and lifting.
Yeah.
The party bus idea. Somebody was talking to me about the party bus. That's the party in and of itself.
Oh yeah. Have you ever done one?
I've never done a party bus. I was never sober enough to do a party.
Maybe for your bachelor party, we should. I don't know. I don't know what it would be like.
Anyway. Somebody asked me today because as you know, I've been previously married more than once.
What?
So somebody asked me, "Are you doing a like Vegas trip?" And I'm like, I don't know that. I'm like, get off my yard. So me and bachelor party now feels more like I want to look at the ocean. Not necessarily touch the sand. The sand's dirty, but just.
So, are you on cigars or off cigars?
I am still smoking cigars. I've relapsed onto cigars.
Okay, got it.
But not around said fiance. So if you're just now tuning in, you're listening to the Geaux Rouge Show. We got guest co-host Dylan Ferguson. We're talking about New Year's Eve. We've got Brian Haldane on Master Control. Brian, you got any ideas on New Year's Eve? I know you
So we actually talked about this a lot this morning, and I'm a big guy for the all-inclusive stuff.
Well, why?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much easier. You get the full package. You don't have to worry about, open tab, close tab, go over there, open tab, close tab. You're in the same place. You're getting fed till you're stuffed. You drink until you've had a little more than too much. The champagne is taken care of at midnight. And if you're doing an all-inclusive at a hotel, you're not driving home.
Right.
And you don't have to make that bed the next day.
So I would say like places like Le Berge, I'm willing to bet they have like killer packages because they want you to make bad decisions out on the casino floor.
Oh, yeah.
Lose some money or win some money, reversely.
Sure.
The hotel packages, I love the idea. I've always loved the idea of you go somewhere, you have the party, and then you go to your room. And, pass out, do whatever, make love, feel like making love, maybe, I don't know. Now, that being said, we're getting towards the end of this segment.
I want to segue. Can I ask you a thing?
Sure.
Can I ask you a thing about fireworks?
Okay.
Your thoughts on fireworks in Baton Rouge? I know we're not supposed to.
In the city, I think they're illegal.
Technically.
Yeah, and as
they are very much illegal.
As a dog owner, and as someone who's in love with a avid dog owner,
sure.
I have to have officially. I'm against in the city
firework in the city.
That being said, there's a special as a father with a 7-year-old. I love the idea of like a kid with a sparkler or cracking off some fireworks.
Maybe some nice fountains.
We're just not some of us are not responsible enough to be able to handle these nice things that we can.
Yeah, I think New Year's Eve is fine.
New Year's Eve is fine.
Right. It's the people that are still cracking fireworks on like January 3rd, 4th, 5th. And now it's a new thing to fire off fireworks at midnight on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Like they've got a couple of houses in our neighborhood. It sounded like downtown Kyiv on Christmas morning.
So I used to live in Mid-City. And when I lived in Mid-City, I would sit on my deck and I would try to play the game of, is that a firework or a bullet?
That is a fun game. Yeah. Fireworks or gunshots. Yeah. Right.
So we're going to be lining up for our first break. If you're just now tuning in, we are talking to Dylan and Brian about New Year's Eve. I'm hoping that everybody that goes and does New Year's Eve has a safe, responsible New Year's Eve. There's certainly tons of things to do. I'll be posting things on the Geaux Rouge Facebook page in the next 24 hours with options. And dude, look, I have to agree with Brian. Do the all-inclusive. The more you move around, the more you hop, the more opportunity for bad stuff.
I'm into picking a location for sure.
Okay.
Post up somewhere. And that's your spot.
It doesn't have to be an emo party. Not that emo party won't be fun.
So what was it called again? I loved the name.
The Tears
New Year, New Tears.
Emo
so good.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
So we're going to be taking our first break with the Geaux Rouge Show. By the way, hey, if you want to watch all our other Geaux Rouge episodes, www.geauxrouge.com. This is your host, Franz Borkart. We will be back shortly.
Talk amongst myself.
You're back up on YouTube.
Cool.
So file, save as MP3. My folder.
I know this probably isn't very entertaining on YouTube right now. I just don't know what I would talk to myself about.
Yeah, me saying out loud the steps that I need to save.
This is file, save.
Here's where it gets real fun. PG4GR01.
Oh, no. It's okay. You don't have to do all that out loud if you don't want to.
I don't know why. If I say it out loud, for some reason, that makes it better. No, Franz has been out for so long that I've forgotten most.
Brand new, whole new world.
Yep.
Do you think you'll check out New Year, New Tears?
No, I don't.
You know,
It's weird though. The spot where it's at, though, you would think Chelsea's would hit up a different demographic because Chelsea's, you're close enough to go see the fireworks.
Oh yeah.
But if you're in an emo party, don't you have to crap all over that idea?
Well,
like by law,
we were talking about
Red Stick. How great.
The Baton Rouge Sucks guys will, I think, more than likely be at the New Year, New Tears, and they're probably with you on this whole like booing the Red Stick.
So you know what I really want to do?
I miss those guys. Just by the way,
they're done or what?
I don't know. They're not on social media anymore, and
what happened?
They've retired. I think they might still have the podcast, but not a podcaster.
So let me say this. There's part of me that really, if I didn't have my 7-year-old, I really would like to get a table at supper club and just people watch for like 6-7 hours.
Would there be people worth watching at supper club though?
Oh, there's people worth watching. Every time I go to supper club, there's people worth watching. There are people getting like, so obviously I don't, again, reemphasizing, I don't drink. However, there are people that drink a lot at supper club, and the more they drink, and it's like very beautiful human beings drinking, some not so beautiful human beings, but the more they drink,
a little wild.
Yeah. And it's like if I could imagine a scenario where I have popcorn, I'm just like, I just want to, anyways. Hold on one second.
Okay, so it's not like prim and proper. Because if I'm thinking supper club, it's
no,
more
so
like
it's very upscale. So I mean, it truly is. Yeah,
like
that's a good way to put it.
Money and just doing.
And it's like Leighton Carbo is the chef there. Great friend of mine.
Love him. Yeah,
love the owners. You walk in and you get this vibe. As someone who used to frequent adult entertainment facilities when he wasn't in a good place in his life, it feels like a strip club.
Yeah,
it has the music. It's just
really confused by all their social media. What?
And I think people, some women, kind of dress.
They take that to heart.
They dress the part.
Yeah. That's the vibe.
And you have to have either a dress or quasi suit on.
Right.
So, yeah,
that's where you would go.
I still haven't gone. So,
would you like to go with me?
We can love to go with you. You just pick a day.
You've gone, right?
I'll show you my calendar.
Well, 30 seconds. I still haven't had like a proper dinner there.
We'll go.
Yeah.
Law firm sponsoring.
Oh, that's great.
Unlike
can we do? I can't be upset about that because
you went either way.
I have no control over it. Yeah,
you don't.
And either way, I'm here. It's powerless.
All right. 10 seconds back. Killing Mike. Still, we're back on.
I love it. Nice song. It's not emo. All right. Welcome back to the second segment of the Geaux Rouge radio show. This is your host, Franz Borkart. I'm sitting here with special co-host, not
co-host.
You got me so amped up. Our special co-host, Dylan Ferguson. Dylan's going to be helping us talk this segment about king cakes. We just finished up a segment about things to do on New Year's Eve, which, by the way, I just want to re-emphasize, if you're looking for a hip emo party, you need to go to Chelsea's
New Year, New Tears.
Yes, emo party.
Very sad.
So doing that, we're going to be doing, we did that. Now we're going to be doing king cakes in Baton Rouge, because people have a lot of strong opinions on their Baton Rouge king cakes.
Sure.
So before we jump into all that, though, let's thank our show sponsors. These are the folks that make the Geaux Rouge show possible. Dr. Gunjarena with MD VIP at Heal 360, www.drrena.com. La Divina Italian Cafe, serving select wines, ice cold beer, plus their exclusive sorbet mimosas, which I hear are very delicious. And then last but not least, the Borkart Law Firm. And hey, look, guys, if you want to listen to more of the Geaux Rouge show, we have on demand at either the Talk 107.3, I think the website has them, and then www.geauxrouge.com. We spell go, Geaux.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I had no idea.
That's so true.
I've been on the show so many times. I had no idea that's what you were doing.
Thanks.
I don't know if I can come back.
Yeah. I don't know if you'll be allowed back. That being said, okay, Dylan, let's go. So,
king cakes.
For those who don't know, Dylan, former food industry guy, works now for an app called Toast, which, by the way, Toast app makes the dining experience so much better.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not just saying that. It really good. Like he's been with me in real time where we paid for like brunch or something, and I was like, that was like the most amazing thing. And he goes, right. So Toast app. Okay, so look. My background in the king cake world. When I was in high school, I worked for Ambrosia Bakery for 2 years and then a little bit of college, where I made massive quantities of king cakes.
You made them?
I started as a dishwasher, and then I worked my way up, and I made massive I've made more king cakes in this.
Did you have
I had.
Did you wear a hat?
We wore baseball caps at that time.
Okay.
I've made more king cakes in my life than the average person probably eats in their lifetime.
That's so interesting.
So yeah.
Do you still make them?
I don't. And in fact, for a long time, I did not eat certain baked goods.
Wow.
Because you get.
It was that.
Well, think about this. If you work for a certain industry and you nonstop make it, you don't want to eat.
No, I mean, I'm going to counterpoint here, right? Because I mean, I've shucked probably tens of thousands of oysters, but I love them. I'll do it. Yeah. If you ever want to do that, if you ever want to pick up a sack, like
I love oysters.
Yeah.
The difference is though that when I would go home after a 8-10 hour shift, the smell of flour and sugar and all the essential ingredients they get in your skin, it's not good. It's not good stuff. But that said, I believe that I can be an authority on king cakes. I believe that you're an authority on king cakes. And someone posed the question, one, when is it appropriate to eat king cakes in the South, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? So some people say it's game on right now.
Right.
You can find them. You can get them.
I'm in that camp.
Okay. Some people say, technically, Brian, when's the day?
January 6th.
And what's the significance of January 6th?
Night into King's Day.
It's King's Day, right?
And I get that, too. And I respect that. I like the tradition there. I don't have the self-control for that,
King's
though. Like
king cake. I mean,
I feel like the heavy hitter king cake makers, though, producers, they're pre-ordering right now.
They're pre-ordering,
If you want to trash king cake,
you can say that, right? Like that is.
Walmart,
don't show up. Don't show up to the office.
Geaux Rouge radio.
Don't show up to the office with a Walmart
Which is to say that if Walmart wanted to put some money onto the show, it'd be like, man, those are the best king cakes we've ever had.
I think you could take them from trash to okay. They'd be like Walmart king cakes. They're not going to kill you.
I think I'm okay with the idea of you having king cakes now.
Thank you.
Right. I think I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother my sensibilities.
Okay,
right.
Good.
Then the question becomes, and we talked about this before the show started. We were on YouTube chatting. When I was making king cakes back in the day for Ambrosia, which is, by the way, one of my favorite.
Many years ago.
97, 98.
Gotcha.
Ambrosia is one of my top ones. Nanette Mayhall, who makes them out of her house.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Think about her as that's one of my top ones.
Yeah.
And then there's some different select ones that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I was a traditionalist. Mm-hmm. I wanted cinnamon, maybe a little cream cheese. I didn't want anything wonky. And now, I mean, dude, some of my favorite king cakes now are like City Pork, Boudin king cake. Mm-hmm. All right, come on. Is that really a king cake? I mean, it fits into the I mean, it
constitutes a king cake, I guess. Like that's what we have to decide on. Yeah. Is it a shape?
The theological, intellectual definition is you got to have the baby in the cake, right?
That's all.
It's a cultural. Right?
Yeah.
It's a cultural, and whoever grabs the baby in the cake buy the next one.
Right.
Okay.
It's yes, there's a theological component to it, but bigger picture, it's the baby.
That's what kind. Well, I think we went through tighten this up a little bit.
We went through the safety phase of people weren't really putting the baby in the cake because they didn't want
to choke.
But
I like that we've come back from that because I feel like we see more babies in cakes now, right?
And we also see ethnic diversity in our kit babies.
Yeah,
and that's a thing now. It used to be just the little pinkish babies. Now it's like all sorts of different babies.
Great.
All right, so moving on from there. All right, so round the room.
Yes.
Favorite king cake in Baton Rouge?
Well, it's not technically in Baton Rouge. You can order it in Baton Rouge, though.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with a Dong Fung.
Okay, is that a fair?
Is that what do you mean?
That's like when I post on the Geaux Rouge Facebook page, "Hey, who has the best king cake in Baton Rouge?" And people are like, "They're all in New Orleans."
But you can order it and pick it up in Baton Rouge.
With the internet, you can order anything from anywhere. So,
why do you love that king cake? What?
Ooh.
What
oh, wow. I didn't come prepared.
Well, you think about that.
Yeah, I'll think about
Brian,
that.
Manny Randazzo's not from here, but if we're including the New Orleans ones, Manny Randazzo.
You pick them up at PJ's.
But if you're here in Baton Rouge, let's say baked in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Baked in Baton Rouge.
Gambino's.
Ooh. Okay. I guess baked in Baton Rouge, I'm going to go Les Amis. Bake shop over on Corsi.
They do a pretty good one.
They do everything good.
Yes. I have no problem with that.
Now I've shown my whole hand. Those were the only two king cakes I came to talk about.
So for me, again, Ambrosia's, I'm biased. I like Ambrosia, but I like, first of all, I need a king cake that hadn't been sitting for a couple of days. I'm not saying Ambrosia does that. I want fresh, and candidly, almost a little warm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want it a little warm.
Yeah.
So,
you just throw a piece in the microwave, kind of heat it up a little bit? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you got to be careful about that because it's like any bread, it will get hard.
Well, the icing will.
Yeah. So I like ambrosia. I do like Ambinos. Nanette is one of my favorite king cakes. The problem with Nanette is you have to get a big one, and like sometimes I eat my feelings. So Nanette makes a good one. Bistro Byron's.
No way.
What?
Bistro Byron's makes a king cake bread pudding, which is not really bread pudding.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
But I give them points for my girl, Sarah Gardner, who used to be cater over at City Roots. I'm trying to think of her baking company. She used to make fantastic ones. I don't know if she's still in the game or not, but she used to be one of my favorites.
Man.
So
you came a lot deeper to this conversation. I'm really glad that you did, because we would not have as much.
I do ever since. So I trust City Pork's ability to make
anything
sweet savory.
Sweet savory. And
I got to tell you, the boudin.
It's a meal though.
Okay.
It's a full-on meal. Okay. It's not. I mean, a king cake is a dessert or a side or something. It's not. That is the focus. If you're sitting down eating a boudin king cake from City Pork, and I'm not. I think it's one of the best things around.
Sure.
But you could sit down and eat and be done eating. So it's not like you just enjoy a slice of king cake at a party.
So no objection to any of this. Now, before you ask your question, I polled the over 24,000 individuals that follow or like the Geaux Rouge Facebook page.
Is that true? 24,000?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I don't know.
That's incredible.
I didn't pay for them. So,
yeah.
So I polled them and said, hey, because every once in a while you can ask a question like, hey, who's your favorite whatever? Or what's your favorite whatever?
Oh, what'd you get?
I got Calanders has some good king cakes, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Somebody said New York Bagel. I didn't know
Jay was doing that. That's cool. I would try that. I will make anything. I would eat anything that he
lays at me.
Yeah, lays at me. Stephanie's.
Several people answered Oak Point.
Huh. Oak Point's legit.
Central?
Oh, so yeah, Oak Point's legit. They're up
Watson
at Central. I'm not heading up to Central all that often, but if I'm in Central, I'll grab one from Oak Point.
The Heavenly Donut makes one.
The Heavenly
Stupid good. It's a donut king cake though. It's fried. I want to say they're up Sherwood towards Seagan. There's like 4 or 5 different locations of the Heavenly Donut.
I didn't know that.
So Counter Space BR.
I saw Counter Space in the Google research that I did.
So I know Mathern's.
Mathern's is awesome. Mathern's is on point. Is on par with Oak Point.
Okay, and closer.
Yes.
Okay.
Downtown on 3rd or in the Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, right across from Tiger Stadium.
What was your question?
Just to clarify again, because we had another king cake disqualifier, which was if it is a meal, then it's not a king cake. So just like to put it in a king cake column, like if it is a king cake, it's got a baby in it. If it's a whole meal, it's not a king cake. I want us to leave with a clear definition for the listener.
Like, so you have certain cakes that are like a gumbo king cake, right?
It
is a thing. I mean, it's a thing. I'm not saying it's mainstream.
How do you braid that?
Well, I don't know.
King cake by definition is braided.
So to me,
sounds
well,
messy.
it's the flavoring, right? So you could stuff the interior of the king cake like a boudin king cake. You could stuff it with rice, a sauce, a gumbo sauce, the sausage, the chicken, whatever, and then you seal that one piece, and then you do it to another one, and that's how you braid it. And by the way,
you have 3 in. Wow, that's.
And by the way, as someone who used to braid king cakes, it can be done.
Well, so we have another thing going in it is a king cake if it's braided. So a braided cake with a baby in it. That's not a meal.
That's one of the first 3 qualifications.
Yeah.
So I would say that a single serving king cake, like a smallest one, generally is not braided because you cannot braid it and circular it.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
So I would say I disagree with the braiding concept. It's a single shooter.
Okay.
And a single shooter is like a donut. It's like a giant donut, but it's by itself. Now,
then it's a donut.
Braiding is generally a medium or large size, and then you start getting into the massive ones. And then you're talking about to braid, how many do you need? You need 3, right?
Sure.
So you need 3, and that generally makes a crescent, and then you braid another one, and that makes a crescent, and then you attach the crescents together, and that's your king cake.
So I think for me, like one of the things that makes a king cake is the icing. Like that's what disqualifies the boudin king cake for me.
Well, it has icing though.
Does it have icing?
Yeah.
Well, then it's a king cake. Is it braided?
Brian, is the City Pork king cake braided?
No, I don't think it is because it's so stuffed with all the boudin and everything
that it's impossible to braid. It's more like a
you purists. You. So I used to have
it's closer to a Wellington than it is.
So I used to have trouble with. I love a Zulu king cake.
Okay, where is that?
Chocolate. Ambrosia made it.
Okay.
In fact, they have the copyright I think for it. But essentially, it's coconut, cream cheese, chocolate, and then some other accoutrement. So like they could be nuts, they could be chocolate chips. That thing is decadent.
Yeah.
It is delicious, but it is decadent. King cake? Well, I mean, if it's strawberry cream cheese king cake is one.
Yeah.
I mean, now what's the most off the wall one you've ever seen or eaten?
I don't know. You know, I'm a pretty straight up king cake guy. I don't have, I mean, the boudin king cake that we keep coming back to, I mean, I felt like I was pretty adventurous with that. But now we're debating whether or not it even qualifies as a king cake. Yeah.
Going back
King
to
fake
originals. Oh.
Wow.
I know.
Don't let Stephen Hightower hear you say that.
He's not listening.
The school originals.
But he is actually, yeah.
That, like, the more old school you get is the more outlandish you're getting with king cakes these days. If you can find like an old school Mackenzie's or a Tasty's Donuts king cake anywhere in Baton Rouge, like, I ain't gonna go to New Orleans to get it, but if you find the originals where there's nothing stuffed in it, it's just the old school braided king cake with the sprinkled icing on top.
I gotta tell you, the one part about a king cake I hate is that freaking granulated sugar.
Oh, Franz, take. Come on,
dude. And again, it goes back to when you have to put it on. It's like sand. It's like glitter and sand. It gets everywhere.
I mean, you're coming to quote Joe Dirt. It's not about you. It's about the consumer.
That's thank you.
The customer is always right?
No. But wow, so it's not about the flavor, because that's the most magical part. It's that little crunch. It's that little that little sweet.
So the granulated sugar doesn't really have much of a. I mean, it is overpowered. It's all about the texture because it's overpowered by the icing, right? The hot icing that drizzles on is sweet.
Yeah.
And then you're putting granulated sugar on top of it for what purpose? Coloring, and texture.
Coloring and nice. Yeah. I'm curious now, while we're talking about it, does Coffee Call do a king cake? That feels like that would be like up there.
They do beignets.
They do beignets.
So there are a number of donut places that do them. The two most underrated, Mikey's Donuts.
Where is that?
Oh, it's on Airline. If you go north of Airline, north of Florida,
okay,
like headed towards North Baton Rouge, you can't miss it. It's like this chrome building on the west side of Airline.
All right,
it's awesome. And then there's this place completely underrated, Florida at Sharp. It's just north of Florida on Sharp. It's called Junust Donuts.
You just saw that place the other day. It's such a strange name, but the donuts.
Couple owns it.
Okay.
So I want to know.
Wife's name is June. Husband's name is August.
I love when people do that. Yeah.
People named different months.
Yeah.
So I want to know, does Elsie's Plate and Pie have one?
They probably do like a pie, I would imagine, or some kind of. I'm sure they're hitting the theme cake themed dessert, but I don't know if Paul's making a.
I don't know. I do know that a lot of coffee places. I do know that a lot of coffee shop places will carry. City Roots normally has a king cake. That you buy.
Right. And I think who does? Well, I think Counterspace does. I think they bake their goods over there for them. Or Les Amis. Les Amis actually bakes goods.
The problem is, if I may, the problem is not to get it on and how much time do we got, Brian? I mean, we're doing okay on time.
We've got a good 7 minutes.
All right. So part of the issue is, if you got a big family and a lot of friends, a king cake's perfect, right? You can break it up, you can cut it up, you can give it up. But if you're by yourself, let's say you don't have a lot of friends, or let's say you're going through some stuff. Right. Like king cake's really, you're not buying, maybe you're buying a king cake by yourself, but
you ought to. You feel better.
Yeah, but it's not it's not like you buy a slice. So a Net Mayhall cake, you go to DeJulia Brothers or wherever you can get it, or Beausoleil, you get a slice of her red velvet cake. It's delicious. Or her Italian cream cake. It's delicious. Do you ever just get a slice? Think about that. Do you ever buy just a slice of king cake? No, you buy the king cake.
In coffee shops, though, right?
Like that's what she's asking.
Yeah,
Single shooter
in a coffee shop. Yeah, absolutely.
The single shooter, the one, the donut king cake, where they're like, oh, that feeds 3 people, and you're like, oh, sure it does. Or 3 people, me, my emotional problems, and the void.
Yeah, okay.
Good idea there. No, point being is look, I once had a king cake where the baker liked to put orange zest into the dough. And so when it baked up, it had an orange zest flavor that I had never had before.
Yeah.
It otherwise was a normal, boring king cake. I mean, it had, and I say boring, I mean, let's be honest. Is there really something magical about a king cake?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
Rouge, though, like I was raised on the old school, the Mackenzie's ones and the Tasty's Donuts and Buttercrisp, and you associate it with the overall party surrounding Mardi Gras. It's more than just the flavor of the cake. It's about the event that's going on with it, and everybody bringing one, and you go, oh, I'm going to try that one, I'm going to try that one, I'm going to try that one. And it's the overall good time that you're having with friends and family.
So it sounds like Franz is attacking that notion, though. Like he's saying, like, is there anything special about the cake itself? So because you and I would agree that's what makes the cake.
Standpoint, I'm on board with crawfish boils. From a cultural standpoint, I'm okay with beignets and getting white powder all over my face.
Like, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Hold on, where's this going from a cultural standpoint?
I feel like the king cake, we lose our minds about king cakes, and at the end of the day, it is a very, I'm gonna say, people are gonna hate me for saying this.
Yeah,
it's an overrated pastry.
Oh my goodness. Well, and
it's an overrated. But it's like,
Franz, I'm sorry you have to go. It's okay. I'll take over the show from here for you. There's an angry mob outside.
People feel the same way about a king cake as I do about the red stick dropping downtown.
It's like, how are you this week?
It's been a week. I'm engaged now. You know what happens?
Yeah, congratulations.
So it's not that I don't want to eat them. I love eating them. I just feel like, think about this. If you had a choice of any dessert in the history of desserts, and it's perfectly that slice, that bite.
Oh, buddy, look.
Are you really going to go king cake?
No, I'm going to go Mississippi mud, but that's me personally. The king cake is still a wonderful, just because it's not my favorite doesn't mean that it's not.
I would rather
that it's not to be revered.
I would rather have a hot Mary Lee donut apple fritter.
Like anytime before January 6th or after like mid-February or March, but like during the season, like king cake. It's seasonal. Yeah.
I'm just. Okay, I can't be honest with my feelings.
You can be honest with your feelings. No, actually,
if you want me to.
Just to be clear, no one requested that.
I also feel like they're overpriced.
Oh,
they are overpriced,
buddy.
Cakes.
You are like a Mardi Gras Scrooge right now. Like you are a Mardi.
So here it is. Baked by their very definition are overpriced. All food. So a slice of cake that you spend that's $10 on. We know
that's not overpriced though. That's business. That's the markup. That's how these people. Yeah, that's what the market think. Yeah, man, we should have Brian around more often.
It's become so over commercialized. They sell it at Walmart now. There it is. I went there.
Wow.
In the Target.
Now, can I get a king?
They sell Zatarain's crab boil at Walmart. They sell. I mean, there's so many. I'm not. Maybe I am the Grinch this year. Maybe you're being a little bit of a Mardi Gras Grinch.
The right king cake.
You're gonna be visited by the ghost of Mardi Gras past.
Look, if you want to show me wrong, it goes to Mardi Gras Pass. if you want to show me wrong, if you want to give me a piece of king cake that blows my skirt up, I'm willing to. I've done a lot of stupid in my life.
Yeah.
To eat that king cake slice.
Yeah.
If you're just listening,
just tuning in,
www.GeauxRouge.com is where the show used to be. Dylan Ferguson, myself, and Franz Borchardt and Brian Haldane. We've been talking about king cakes. I like king cakes.
Wow. You got a long time left on this earth. You got a lot of Mardi Gras left in you, buddy. You better find that spirit again.
What's another Mardi Gras food or flair? When does crawfish start?
Well, I guess now. I think I've seen people already eating.
Yeah, crawfish are out there now. It's a bit early for me. We go Valentine's Day as the unofficial start in the Haldane.
Yeah.
All right. So
I like that.
I'm just saying.
Are you about to say something about crawfish? Because I heard you tiptoe near it. Like you said, really.
Food is cold fried chicken.
Oh, I love that. One of my favorite breakfasts.
Popeyes. Good looking chicken from Popeyes. All right. That being said, we're about out of time. This is the last show I'll probably ever get to do.
I know.
So, Scorecard with the Geaux Rouge show. We'll be back. We'll be probably back after not next week.
If the King Cake Mafia doesn't take you out. Oh, this is great.
So YouTube and Brian, so you can hear me say this, we may have to record a little earlier than Friday this coming week because I'm going to be going to H-Town. There is a chapel in Houston that I absolutely have to see. It's in the woods. And so
do you do this every week?
I do a lot of yeah.
No, I mean the show.
Yeah, ish.
The show is every week. Up until October, and then you took a hiatus.
2 days.
And then
2 times.
Gotcha.
So, what, 2-3 years now? On and off?
Yeah, you're third. This
will be year number 3, right?
You started like the week before COVID, basically, and had to be put on hiatus because we had to shut everything down.
Yeah. So we're going to be I'll be out of town Friday, Saturday, and then I've got special Mercy event on Sunday I got to go to. The Axe, what do they call it? The Axe Mass, where you go.
Commissioning mat,
whatever happens.
That's already?
Yeah, dude. Stuff's getting real. So we're going to try to record earlier. I may check out your schedule. I got to figure out who I'm going to put on next week.
I really think we should get Paul from Kuyan to talk about Quark. Dude, I think you're going to love him. You've never met him before? Y'all have an overlap already?
I want to get Rocco on as well.
I don't know him as well.
So brace yourself.
He sounds intense.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very much. He is unbelievably entertaining. He's one of the best people on the planet. You're going to love him to pieces.
Okay, cool.
But brace yourself.
Heard.
Hold on. You will hear stories that should not be spoken out loud.
That's nice. Yeah, there you go. Well, YouTube, we're going to, on that note, have a very safe New Year's Eve. If the poop hits the fan, www.porkhartlawfirm.com.
Fun. Thanks.
Are we off?